G'day team, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to sort of move on and start looking at a new kind of relation. We all know it, it's a circle. With relations, they are slightly different to functions, but we can still write an equation for our relation in terms of x and y. For a circle, we need two key pieces of information, the center and the radius. So if we're going to look at this circle below, I can pretty clearly see I've got a center here at 1, 0, or at AB, and then I can write any other point on my circle as x, y. I've just chosen -1 and 0. Now, we can pretty clearly see that my radius is 2 units. This circle's been set up quite nicely, but we can actually show this by finding the distance between 2 points. So, this distance, r, or d, for distance, so r for radius, d for distance, I'm using my center and any other point on my function, okay? So I've got my 2 points here, 1, 0, and -1, 0, where 1's the center. And if we go through, I get 2 squared plus 0 squared. The square root of 2 squared is just 2. So that means my radius is 2. So that means r here, my radius, is the square root of any point with the x-coordinate, take the x-coordinate of my center, all squared, plus the y-coordinate of any point, take away the y-coordinate of my center squared. So the general center radius equation for a circle is x take a all squared plus y take b all squared equals r squared. So we've just squared both sides to get rid of this square root. So a and b is the center of my circle, and r is the radius. Now you need to be really careful because the radius is squared. So when we want to find the radius from an equation, we have to take the square root of this side. The other thing I want to note, remember in transformations when we're looking at translations, and my x-coordinate would do the opposite to what I think. So if this was a minus, it actually moved to the right. If it was a plus, it moved to the left. This is the same for both of these cases, okay? And we'll go through some examples of that in a moment. Now, the circle above, so this circle here of center 1, 0 and radius 2 has an equation that looks like this. So a is 1, so +1, so this stays minus, and then the y-coordinate was 0. Radius was 2, so I'm left with x take 1 squared plus y squared equals 4. All right, let's have a look at a different example. So write the equation of the circle with center -2, 5, with radius 4 units in center radius form. So I know I've got x take a squared plus y take b squared equals r squared. Now a equals -2. So I've got x minus -2, which is +2. And then y is 5. So b is 5. 5 b again, 5 squared, and my radius I'm told is 4. So I've got 4 squared, and I just tidy up that right-hand side. So x plus 2 is squared, y take 5 squared equals 16. Done. That is my equation of that circle. So let's have a look at doing that again, but graphically. So I've got two circles here, circle A and circle B. Now circle A has a center that looks to be 3 and 2. It's a bit harder to see, but we're going to go with 3 and 2. And if it's 3 and 2, then it has a radius of 1 unit. So that means my equation is x take 3 all squared, because it's positive, plus y take 2 squared equals 1 squared, which is just 1. Now, circle B, that has a center about here, which looks to be, if I maybe move it over just a touch, might be able to see a bit clearer where that center is. It's here, so -1 and -2. So -1, -2 is my center. Radius I can see is 2 as well. Okay, so I can go x plus 1 because that's a negative, so it has to be a plus. Y plus 2 all squared equals 2 squared, which is 4. So they're my two equations there. All right, let's have a look at going the other way now. We're given the equation, let's look at graphing. So circle A, from that equation, I can say it has a center of -2, because there's a positive there, and -1, because that's also a positive. So that's my center. My radius is the square root of 4, which is 2. Now circle B is -3, +2, because there's a negative, and radius is the square root of 1, which is just 1. So now I've got all the information I need to graph my two circles. So I'm going to graph A in pink. So -2, -1, that's the center there. And it has a radius of 2. So boom, 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 and boom. Then I'm just going to draw my circle. I can cheat a little bit and get a nice circle here. And I'll just make sure it fits nicely. There we go. So all we have to do now is label. So I'm going to steal this and label my equation there. Okay, so that's circle A. Now circle B, let's do in red. -3 and +2. So that's a center here. And it has a radius of 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, drawing in our circle, I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Nice fitting circle there. And again, I'm going to steal my equation. Make it really big. No, I want to make it like that. Okay, so they're my two circles graphed. Really important that we're getting these signs correct in here. Okay. All right, hopefully that enlightens you a little bit on the center radius form of a circle. We've done finding the equation from words, finding the equation from a graph, and then graphing from an equation as well. Should keep you in good stead. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.